In this video, I'll summarize and give my thoughts on 2 chapters from the book The Way of the Superior Man by David Deida. And this book has genuinely changed my life. I'm not joking, I wouldn't be making this video if it wouldn't. And this book is a full guide to masculinity. If you're a young man and you haven't read this book yet, trust me, read it and it will genuinely change how you look at your life and the rest of your life. I read it and I still only understand 5% of it. I mean, this book really goes deep into spirituality and women work, purpose. If you haven't read this book yet, it is a must read. It will genuinely change the rest of your life. 2 chapters that I will be talking about in this video is Know Your Real Edge and Don't Fake It. And that is chapter number 4. And the other one is Lean Just Beyond Your Edge. That is chapter number 8. And I think both of these chapters are very important if you want to grow spiritually or financially, or if you want to grow just personally. And I think that these 2 chapters are also very important if you want to get closer to knowing your purpose. This book talks a lot about, I misspelled that. This book talks a lot about purpose, and I won't go into a lot of detail now, but you can think of purpose as you having this core desire. This is your purpose. This is the reason that you are living. This is, if you would find this core desire, you would be living the best life. And outside these core desires, you have lesser desires. I call it the purpose onion. There are these lesser desires that surround your core purpose. Now, a purpose could be, for example, one of these lesser purpose is to build an aesthetic body, get muscles. That could be a purpose. Or getting money. That can also be one of your purposes. And the trajectory of our life is basically to get through these layers of purposes, getting closer and closer to that core purpose that we have. So this was just a very quick overview, brushing over what purpose is. So, and I think that these two chapters actually help you get closer to that purpose. Now let's clarify what edge means, because both of the chapters talk about it and it's not what you think it is. So you can think of your edge as the line between your comfort zone and what's beyond your comfort zone. Like, what's that? Uncomfortable zone, or I don't know. So you can imagine this as your comfort zone, the circle, like uncomfortable zone or something like that. Your edge is this line right here, where your comfort zone meets the other side. Your edge is where fear stops you from progressing forward. Your edge is when you get scared or when you feel uncomfortable of doing something, and that is your edge, the outside of your comfort zone. In the book, it says that your edge is where you stop short or where you compromise your fullest gift and instead cater to your fears. So that is your edge, where you feel your fears. Now this is the summary of the first chapter, Know Your Real Edge and Don't Fake It. It is honorable for a man to admit his fears, resistance, and edge of practice. It is simply true that each man has his limit, his capacity for growth, and his destiny. But it is dishonorable for him to lie to himself or others about his real place. He shouldn't pretend he is more enlightened than he is, nor should he stop short of his actual edge. The more a man is playing his real edge, the more valuable he is as good company for other men, the more he can be trusted to be authentic and fully present. Where a man's edge is located is less important, whether he is actually living his edge, in truth, rather than being lazy or deluded. And before you can live at your edge, it's important to know where your edge is, and yet you don't lie to yourself. Because if you delude yourself and say that you're not afraid of anything and you don't have any fears, you're just an idiot and you're lying to yourself. Because the book says that all men are afraid unless they are perfectly free. Now, what this means, that's a good question. This is what I was talking about, that the book goes really deep into these topics like freedom, or it even talks about topics like ego death. Basically, it's something like the realization that your sense of identity and ego is fake, and you falling through that and realizing that it doesn't exist. Yet again, I am not an expert on these. I don't know what I'm talking about right here, so don't trust what I'm saying. But the point is that if you're watching this video, you're probably not perfectly free, so you do have some fears. So you're either delusional and you say that you don't have any fears, or the other option is that you do know your fears very well. You do know them, but you are too comfortable. I think that this is where most of us are, where we know our fears. We know that we are afraid of taking risks, or we are afraid of failure, or that we are afraid of the boogeyman, but we are just too comfortable in our lives. And you're too comfortable with your lifestyle and you don't want to change it to study harder or to work harder, because it will be hard. You have to put your phone down. So I think this is where most of us are, that we're too comfortable, or we are too comfortable in a certain career and we're too afraid to change that career, even though that new career would be more aligned to our purpose. And if you're lying to yourself about where your edge is, maybe you think that it's here even though you're here, or maybe you think that it's here even though you're here. So here you're delusional, and if you think that it's here, you're not approaching your edge and you're too much in your comfort zone. And if you're lying to yourself, if you don't know where your edge is, your woman and your friends won't be able to trust you. Because how could they? Let me draw eyes too. Because how could they? If you're lying to yourself, they will automatically think that you will lie to them too, unconsciously or consciously. Especially your woman. Your woman will pick up on these very subtle details. If you're lying to yourself and don't know your edge, they won't be able to trust you. This is why this is so important to know where your edge is actually. And some people are afraid of feeling fear, so they'll never approach their edge. You might be one of them. They choose a job that's easy for them, that's comfortable for them, and they never approach their real edge. Maybe they think that this is their edge, even though they could go so much farther. They don't even approach their fullest giving of their gift. Their life is comfortable and secure, but it is dead. They lack that aliveness, that inspirational energy, that depth that a man has when he is truly living at his edge. It is very important to know where our edge is. So as an actionable step, let's explore your edge right now. Pick an area of your life. It can be your intimate. What am I doing? It can be your intimate. I'm just gonna write that. Intimate, or maybe your career, your studies, your spiritual life, anything. Just pick one area of your life. And once you got that area, describe your edge in that area. For example, let's take a career or studies. What is stopping you from making a bigger contribution? Where is that line where fear is stopping you? Where you stop because you're afraid of something? Where is that line? And say it out loud right now. Say it out loud where your edge is. Maybe you could say that I know that I could be working harder or studying more, but I'm too lazy to put in the hours. Or I know that I should have this great diet, but I can't resist the cake. I don't have control of myself. Or maybe you're doing some kind of, you're on your college or some kind of activity, and you know that it's not right for you, and you know that this other thing would be more aligned with your purpose, but you're too afraid to let go of the old career. So anything that you have in your mind, you can stop the video and journal about it. Just figure out in what area of your life, your intimate relationships, career, whatever, where your edge is. Figure that out, because it will be important in the next steps of the video. I hope that you got that figured out, your edge. And there's this quote from the book that I love, which I will read to you, that admit your fears, because a fearful man who knows that he is fearful is way more trustable than a fearful man who is not aware that he is fearful. You might be afraid of a lot of things. You might be pathetic, you might be a coward, but if you know your edge, and if you're living your edge, you know where your edge is, you're way more trustable than someone who's here, let's say, who's delusional, or someone who's way too in his comfort zone. And there's another code that live with your lips pressed against your fears, kissing your fears, neither pulling back nor aggressively violating them. And now this is about the next chapter that we're going to be talking about. Lean just beyond your edge. And the summary of the chapter reads like this: in any given moment, a man's growth is optimized if he leans just beyond his edge, his capacity, his fear. He should not be too lazy, happily stagnating in the zone of security and comfort, nor should he push far beyond his edge, stressing himself unnecessarily, unable to metabolize his experience. He should lean just slightly beyond the edge of fear and discomfort constantly in everything that he does. So once you're honest with yourself and you know your real edge, it's best to just lean beyond it, like right here, just outside your comfort zone, and to live there constantly in every single moment. Now, this is actually quite hard, because what most of us do, we either stay in our comfort zone for too long, watching TV, scrolling on TikTok, or wasting our time like that. And then we realize, what are we doing? We're wasting our life. And we push ourselves really hard, and we go all the way out here. So you gotta find this balance of living at your edge. And we do this thing that I talk about because of insecurity. Your insecurity may cause you to doubt yourself and take the easy path, not even approaching your edge and your full potential. Or out of your insecurity, you might just push, and keep pushing forward, way out of your comfort zone, never stopping to take a breath, and trying to fill your sense of lack and this hole in your soul with more work or with more effort, pushing yourself way over the limit. But both approaches, not approaching your edge and leaning far beyond it, avoid your condition in the present moment, which is fear. If you avoid your fear, you won't be able to relax. The book says that your fear is the sharpest definition of yourself. You should know it, you should feel it virtually constantly. Fear needs to become your friend so that you are no longer uncomfortable with it. And most of the people don't talk about this. All of today's influencers are telling you to work super hard, way beyond your edge, super ambitious, and hating your life because you're working all day long. But the book is telling you to just be at your edge, not being aggressive with it, not being lazy, but just here playing at your edge. Now, I'm not saying that you shouldn't be working hard. You should be working hard, but there's a limit. You can take that very far out. And what most of us do is that we work super hard and we burn out or whatever, and we go back into the comfort zone, and then back again here, back into the comfort zone, back again here, pushing ourselves back into the comfort zone. But what you need to do is Just be here at your edge constantly, every moment of your life. Be there at your edge, feel it. Because that is where you truly are. Your edge is where you are right now. So don't try to lie to yourself and to others by pushing way out beyond it and pulling back from it, not reaching it. If because of fear you're too much in the comfort zone, you're living a lesser life and you're living a shallow life. Because if you're always in the comfort zone, you will never see your full potential of who you really could have been. And all because you're too comfortable on your phone, eating junk food or playing video games or whatever you're doing. And you're not playing your edge, being at your edge, and getting to your full potential. Because of fear, you can also just push way ahead and living a false life. You're off center, always tense and missing the present moment. At this point, if you're like this, there's no point because you're not enjoying your day-to-day life. You're always tense and stressed out because you're pushing yourself too hard. This is why you should lean just beyond your edge, feeling this moment, this present moment, and feeling your fear right now, making it your friend and not trying to escape it by going too far or staying in your comfort zone. And there's this quote that I like to read to you at the end of the chapter, and this is what I was talking about when I was saying that this goes deep. It says, by leaning just beyond your fear, you challenge your limits compassionately without trying to escape the feeling of fear itself. You step beyond the solid ground of security with an open heart. You stand in a space of unknowingness, raw and awake. Here, the gravity of deep being will attend you to the only place where fear is obsolete, the eternal free fall of home, where you always are. So yeah, you can leave in the comment what you think this paragraph is talking about, because as I was saying, this goes deep. I only know 5% of it. And the other chapters as well are way deeper. This is like one of the easy chapters that you can understand. The other chapters go way deeper than this, into more like spirituality and like reality, who you truly are, our deepest desires. Really goes deep into these topics. So yeah, we can learn a lot more about this book, and I highly recommend that you also buy it, because or just download it online or just watch some videos about it, because it will genuinely change the rest of your life. So you can leave a comment what you think this final paragraph is talking about, because I'm really interested to hear what you think, and so that we can share our thoughts and improve together, become a superior man together. So know your real edge, don't fake it, and lean just beyond your edge. Again, I highly advise you to read the whole book, because this is not even the tip of the iceberg of how much stuff is written here. Everyone, we can all learn a lot from this book. So if you even take away one thing from this video, remember the name of this book, The Way of the Superior Man. It can genuinely change the rest of your life. I also have in the description a full summary of the book if you're interested on Notion. I'm also doing free one-on-one calls if you have any questions or you want to talk about something, some advice. My email will be in the description. You can send me an email and we'll set up a call and we'll talk to each other. So thank you for watching this video. I hope that it was helpful, and I hope that you could learn something from this video. Have a great day. Goodbye.